Another thing you'll notice that these scores are supposed to be used in conjunction with a new filtering system that's been added. So now if you hover over the headers for slot, mob, or zone, you can now see that you can right-click for filter options. And what I wanted to do with this system is basically allow people to use the wishlist search to actually find upgrades from within the game rather than having to use Wowhead or similar. So basically you can say, well, I only want to see maybe 10-man zones. So if I uncheck 25 mans, my search results are now being limited. So you can see I'm only seeing 10 man. There's 10 normal, 10 heroic, 10 normal, etc. One thing to notice is most of the filters have an empty option. And empty basically means in some cases there will not be a known field for that particular filter. So for zone difficulty, if it doesn't know what the difficulty is, it will count as empty. So having that enabled will show you these results here, where we have an item, but we don't know the zone difficulty. So if you want to just filter stuff that you actually know the values of, you can uncheck empty. Again, zone name, just like you would expect it to be. You can uncheck different zones if you want to only look in one particular zone. Right-clicking on mob header does the same thing. You see a list of all the valid mobs. Obviously, these are not actually mobs. These are what drops a particular item. So it can be objects sometimes. And normally this list would be much longer, but like I said, the cache is kind of low just after the patch, so that will grow. But for every 20 or so, it breaks off a new menu, and you can uncheck or check as many mobs as you want to view. And then, of course, slot is just the equipment slot. So this is probably the most powerful part in conjunction with zone. This will basically allow you to, I only want to find, chess pieces, and then you can actually start to look at the score relative to your current item based on your weighting. So I can see this Royal Moonshroud robes is 2,472 more value than my current Conqueror Nightsong robes. So that's basically the purpose of this tool. You can sort these just like normal. And of course you can still search up here if you want to even filter it down more by zone or whatnot. So another thing to show is I've integrated the scoring into kAuction itself. So if we create a raid real quick. So if you hover over any item in kAuction, you'll see at the bottom of your tooltip is a listing of all the enabled weight systems that you have going. So we have Restoration and Feral DPS going right now. And the scores are the upgrade scores based on the current item you have selected here as your bid item. So that's basically as if you're bidding on this item, this is where you would obviously select what you're previously wearing, so what you're going to upgrade from. So the score values that you see in the tooltip are saying for Feral DPS over this current chest, it's 31,000 better. But that doesn't make much sense. So let me pick my actual Feral chest. It's that one, I think. So there we go. So you can see this chest guard of the Recluse is actually about 6,000 weight better than my current Feral chest, so it'll be pretty good. And if you remove an item, then it will just show you the flat value for that. based on the weight. And if we go and enable some more weight scales, and we do another auction here, then all of our weight scales again are displayed there. So for tanking, this is barely an upgrade to my current chest, but for feral DPS, it's probably quite a good one. So that'll kind of give you an idea of when you're actually looking at your items in kAuction, whether it's an upgrade. So a few things to keep in mind about the weighting system. Some things it doesn't do that's important to note is because it's weighted, it's all based on the values you enter here. It will not account for if you're, hit capped, or whether you meet the socket bonus, or what talents you have, things like that. So it's up to you to create the actual weighting values that would be appropriate. As mentioned, these are just taken from Wowhead, the ones they use. I don't know how accurate they are for most specs, so feel free to upgrade them or change them around. And obviously you can just entirely delete these and add your own. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.